How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. We are forging the most artifacts anyone has ever forged in a single session, to my knowledge, by a lot. We have on Necromann's account right now over 72,000 materials for both the Titan Forge and the Wisdom Forge. 72,007 Titan Meteorite and 72,005 Wisdom Meteorite. This comes out to, believe it or not, 3,600 artifacts. Every pull is going to come with a 2% chance, or sorry, they buffed it, my bad. They buffed it a while ago. My brain's rotten. 4% chance to get an exclusive artifact, so we're expecting what? Let's do the math there, 3,600. We're expecting like, oh boy, quick maths, 144 exclusive artifacts, which for sure will be the most exclusive artifacts someone has ever gotten at once. Could it be more? Could it be less? We'll see. We're live on Twitch right now. If anyone wants to help, count, that'd be great. But let's get right into it, but not before I plug one other thing, and that's right here on this account. If you like forging, we did Gleaming Meteorite on this account about a week ago, and it was over 18,000 Gleaming Meteorites, which was like 463 exclusive Gleaming Meteorite pulls. We pulled 95 exclusive artifacts. It was unbelievable. Now we're doing this with the Titan and the Wisdom. And then if we go over here, it's going to be one of the biggest gear forging sessions of all time, maybe the biggest of that as well. Over 28,000 materials for each. This is 1,400 pieces of gear from each forge. The Sanguine Fabric and the Smoldering Scales, that is 2,800 total. This is going to be insane, guys. Let's get right into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Buckle up. I believe we will start with the Titan. Let's go. This is going to take a long time. I mean, just the act of doing this is going to take a long time. So we just got to accept that and move on. I'll be mass selling everything besides exclusives as well for the interest of time. And I do also want to say this lined up really well. If you wonder how did Necromann get all this, did he spend a bunch of money or something? He's just been saving since the end of last year. So 9 months or something now. Just stockpiling, and then he didn't know the War of Fates was coming, but the War of Fates is here. He's currently 50th. I do anticipate will be at least top 10, and I think a pretty good chance for top 5. If not by the end of this session with the artifacts, certainly by the end of the gear. So if you're watching live, we'll do a check-in at the end of the artifacts and then at the end of the gear. But these will be 2 different videos. Otherwise, this would be the longest video of all time. Okay, speaking of the longest video of all time, let's get back into it. 1,780 Titan forges left to go, and then 1,800 exactly waiting in the Wisdom. Not a single exclusive yet. Kind of a rough start here. We are seeing a good amount of Tactician artifacts. You get them from the Titan Forge. That's pretty cool. And there we got our first 3 exclusives. Guys, 3 exclusives in one 10 pull from non-Gleaming Meteorites is pretty crazy. That's going to be our first Absin. That is going to be a Lust, and that is going to be a Broke here. Absin needs a buff so bad, it's crazy. And back-to-back, there we go. Our 4th one, that's going to be Lord Phineas. That is by a mile his best in slot. It really transforms the character. Oh, we got a Cerberus. Good shout. Grilled beef, thank you. We did get a Cerberus very early, so we've actually gotten 5. That is true. Good memory. Abomination, that makes it 6. We still want that good spice. I'm assuming he's probably put some mythic essence into like Sun Wukong, maybe Kagiri. You can let us know. Another Broke here. Already up to 7. This is crazy. Now, a ridiculously quick word from today's sponsor, Etheria Restart. If you guys don't know, this is one of my favorite games in the entire world to play right now, full stop. I've been playing this game every single day since global launch. I opened a 3rd channel just to be covering this game exclusively. Yes, I am sponsored, but I constantly am over-delivering on how much I play it and how much content I make on it. That's because I like it so much. So if you're looking for another game on top of Watcher of Realms or whatever you're playing, definitely check out Etheria Restart. Just like with Moonton and Watcher of Realms, XD and their head dev for this game, Jack, really do listen to the players. All in all, the core game is fantastic. It's a new game, it's a young game. There have been kinks they are working through, but they're working on it, and you don't get that in a lot of other games where they're actually listening and working on it. And all in all, it is good gameplay, and it is shockingly free-to-play friendly. I am 100% pure free to play in this game. I have not spent a penny, and I get no content creator rewards, and I'm wholly successful in the game. You can pull for all the new units you want when they come out once you reach like the mid game and you're kind of settled into your account, and you can have a pretty crazy collection. So if we go over here and we filter by SSR, these are the legendary rarity units in the game. You can see I have nearly every single one. I'm missing like 7 in the entire game. It's pretty wild, and I have some of the absolute best in the entire game, including Lily. And by the way, if you start playing with my link, keep re-rolling for Lily. We've got a link in the description and the top pinned comment. It is a phenomenal game. Please do me the favor and download it just to give it a try. It's really that good. Thank you to Ethereal Restart for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to those artifact pulls. There's a Valara and a Kagiri. Are these gleaming meteorites? These have a 4% chance, and we're hitting every 10 pull. And these are 2 of the single best exclusives in the whole game. The more Valara, the merrier. And then Kagiri is obviously fantastic. We're already up to 9, and we've only done 100 pulls. So we're hitting at a 9% rate, over double the expected rate, which is nuts. That is crazy. Let me also flip myself so I'm looking correctly as we grind through this. There's an Ein and a Cerberus. I think we're on a God Seed. 11 through 110. We're hitting 10% of the time right now. All right, coming back down to Earth. This is piping hot right now. He said Wukong and Hex are maxed. We won't be pulling any Hex till we move to the Wisdom, but that's good to know. We don't need Wukong. We'll take some Moradin, some Valara, some Arrogance, some Kagiri. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Another one, Regulus. I think that brings us up to 12. Dr. Matt says CC rates confirmed. 11 in our first 110 is crazy. That's 13 already with Helga. Look, every single one of these, by the way, every single one of these 10 pulls, we're getting 1,600 pulls. We have 180 10 pulls on each, so 360 total. So we do some quick math here. So if we do 360 times 1,600 just from pulling these artifacts, we are going to get, oh, I can't type, another 576,000 points. So Necromann will be in the top 3 by the end of this, and there's a good chance by the end of the gear he'll be vying for the top spot. We'll have to see how many points we get from that. I'm gonna keep up a pretty fast pace because I don't want this video to be 3 hours long. I'm only probably gonna cut, aside from a couple flubs. There's Kineza. That's another exclusive. Aside from a couple flubs at the beginning, I'm only gonna cut just to cleanse, so you guys don't have to see that. So it's basically gonna be mass bulk cleansing. I think I'm just gonna save, at least from the Titan, I'm just gonna save his new tacticians if he still needs that. Though we did pick up a lot from the gleaming, but I'll make sure he can max out one of each tactician artifact. But the rest I'm just gonna mass sell because he's gotten most things plus 25 of the normal artifacts, as most people that have been playing as long as Necro or myself have. You've been playing for as long as we have. You have most things maxed out for normal. There's gonna be a Magnus. That's another one. What is that? 15, 14? You check the chat. The math on the stamina, I mean, it's so much. But I mean, he's been farming for like 9 months. There's a Dwarven Strider. We'll take that. 15. All right. We're coming up on 300 pulls now. 16, 17. Very spicy. And there's a Valderon. We'll take as much of that as we can get. Another Kineza as well. So we did 17 in our first 300. So we're hitting close to a 6% clip. So we're above the 4% right now, which is great. There's Sally. Brings us to 18. Oop, time to make space for the first time. We'll cut for one moment. All right, we made space. Let's keep it going. We've pulled 320 in the Titan, 470 remaining, 480, 470 after that. And then we've got to move on to the Wisdom. I also maxed out, made sure all 3 tactician artifacts were maxed out, so now we can just mass sell that stuff all the time. The chances of that are unbelievable. Hitting 2 exclusives in a row, and they're the same exclusive. That's pretty wild. Back-to-back Zeala 2, and then there's a Baroque here. That's 2 more Zeala 2 and a Baroque here. I think that brings us to 22 now. We were at 29. We've gotten 3 more. Necro says that might be Zealatu's artifact max. That'd be pretty cool. Zealatu is a good example of a character where her artifact isn't her definitive best in slot, but it becomes it with acquiring more promotions. A lot of artifacts, if you can get them to like promo 3 or higher, they start to exceed other alternatives. Unless they're like a definitive best in slot one, like Virna or Hex or something like that, Kagiri. There's going to be Helga. I believe we're at 23 now. There's another Valara and an Arrogance. I believe that's 25. Is Zealatu still viable in any content? Zealatu is still viable in all content she was previously viable in. That's 27 now. Again, back-to-back Cerberus. This is something weird. If you think about it, right, it's a 4% chance to hit. So just the chance to hit 2 in a row. Well, I guess you're already hitting 1, so then it's like 4%. It's going to happen again. But then for it to be the same 1 out of 30, right, that's going to be, it's something like 4% times 3%. So it's a fraction of a percentage. It's a lot of Cerberus we're pulling there. That is a lot of Cerberus. What did I say? We're at 25. Is that right? Another one. Wow, we're getting hot again. There's a Reeve. I think I might be a little delayed from the chat. I think that's 26. We're still not even a third of the way through the Titan, which means we're not even a sixth of the way through total. Yeah, the person who asked if Zealatu's viable in any content, she's completely viable in every piece of content she was previously amazing in, right? Nothing changed. There are just more meta options now, but that doesn't mean she's bad. Zealatu can hard carry you to 50k in Guild Boss 1. She's really good on an Infernal team in APOC. She's good for all single target stuff for progression. So it's like, yes, like Numera's going to be better for a lot of stuff, but that doesn't make Zealatu worse. It's only she's less viable for like Abyss or something like that, where she could still help you get like 22k or something. It's really only the top crazy stuff. We got 2 more there, though. We're up to 30 now with that Trusk and that Voroth. Trusk has a very good exclusive. I think not enough people use Trusk and not enough people know his exclusive to know that it really does boost him. It's going to be 31 there with Ein. Back to back again. That's going to be a Valkyra, bringing us to 32, I believe. We're almost at a third of the way through the Titan, 6th of the way through total. That will come at 1,200. I like these round numbers. We started with exactly 1,800 of each. Two more. I think that brings us to 34. Our first Volca and our millionth Cerberus. The Cerberus pulls are piping hot right now. Why couldn't they be Valara or something? I think we're at 34. Miss there. This brings us to exactly 600 pulled. And there is going to be 35. So really good, right? Through 600, you'd expect 24, and we've pulled 35. Vix, I'd appreciate if you write it every time so I know if I'm correct. You're only going to write every 5? Okay, sure. I'll trust you then. Just hard with the stupid Twitch commercials that I can't control. But yeah, I'll try to count along. All right, here we go. Only 1,200 to go, more than almost any player ever would do. I mean, the most we've ever even done was 45,000 materials of each on the channel, and we're still more than that. We're at 46 of this one, and then we still have the 70, whatever. How much is it over here? 72,000 over there. Crazy. All right, we're full. Give me 1 second. All right, we are back. 1160 to go. I believe we left off at 35. Wow, the chances of that suck. Right? We have a 30% chance, and we didn't hit a single mythic or mythic exclusive. It's got to be 30% chance, 20% chance. That sucks. We don't really care, though. We're just looking for exclusives. Cooling off a bit here. Oh, we're at 36 exclusives now. I had the number wrong. Very, very cooled off. I don't like that. There's a Kagiri. We'll absolutely take that. His Kagiri artifact is not maxed. That brings us to 37. There's 38 with another Regulus. Another Regulus. That's like our Regulus and Cerberus. I mean, Cerberus is in a league of his own. I think we pulled 6 Cerberus. That brings us to 39. And there's 40, our first constants. Also, for anyone, maybe I should have explained this at the beginning. I think a lot of people know. The Titan only drops Fighter, Defender, and Tactician artifacts. Once we move to Wisdom, we'll get the other 3 classes. And those are going to be Mage, Marksman, and Healer. I wonder, we'll check at the end. We'll try to remember off the top of our head if there are any that we didn't get yet. Inferno Hunt in the chat says, hey, what's up, Inferno Hunt? There's another one. Phineas, that's 41, and our second Phineas, I believe. Very good artifact. Back to back with Kineza, 42. Still not even halfway there. We got a Broke here for 43. We've pulled a lot of the Broke here. Out of the Broke here. We just hit 1,000, so that was our 800th forge in the Titan. Once we hit 900, we'll be halfway through the Titan and 1/4 way through the total artifacts. Definitely we've slowed down a bit, though. Another Reeve. We'll take the Reeve for sure. That brings us to 44. We get back to back. We can with another Valara. That's going to be 45. I love... If we could come at us with a max out Valara, that'd be really nice. Ooh, our first Lubu of the day for 46. Then our second Valderon and our second Valkyria. This is the best 10 pull of the day so far. 3 really, really good ones, especially that Valderon. Amazing. I believe that brings us to 48. Or is it 49? Where are we at? I think that's 49. I think that's 50 with Arrogance. I'll wait for Vix to confirm in the chat. Another Cerberus, of course. Yeah, we're hot right now on these pulls. So was Cerberus 50? Okay, Cerberus was 50, Vix says. So we just hit halfway. So remember, guys, our expectation from 1800 was to pull 72. We're already at 51 there with that Wrath, just 10 pulls over halfway. So we are obliterating the 4% rate. Hopefully we can stay this hot. And there's another one. That's 52. Right, because every 100, and there's 53, another Kineza. Every 100 you expect to hit 4, and we're doing 1800s. So 18 times 4 is going to be 72. 2 more there. I think that's 55. Another Kineza. I think that's our 5th Kineza. Is that right? And then another Wrath. I'll wait for confirmation in the chat. Yeah, there's our first Morrigan dupe of the day. That's 56. This is crazy right now. We're destroying the rates. We're pulling like 15% more. All right, let me make some space. Let's get right back into it. Let's stay hot. 850 remaining. We're coming up on our first 1,000 pulled. All right, rightfully so. We're crashing back down to earth. And there's our 25th Cerberus of the day. That brings us to 56 or 57. I'll wait for chat to confirm. Was that 56 or 57 with that Cerberus? If that was 57. I can't even count how many Cerberus we pulled. There's 58 with another Zealot too. We just passed the 1,000 mark. Still 31,000 basically to go. Another Valara. We love to see that. That is huge. We would like to pull more Valara, more Moradin. Another Regulus. That should bring us to an even 60. Tons of Regulus. Still not even 2/3 of the way done with these Titans. And then we have another 1,800 for the Wisdom. There's our second Apson. He was like our second pull of the day, and we finally pull it again. Finally. Not like we were waiting to do it. Execute with the first time chat. Thank you very much. And there is our 4th Valara pull of the day. Amazing. So we might end up maxing out Valara I think that's 62. Yes, Vix confirms it's 62. Shout out to my moderator helping me count, Lord Vix. Straight out of Sweden, I want to say. Is that right, Vix, Sweden? Somewhere in Scandinavia for sure. Finland. Ooh, whoops. Do you not have a Swedish flag on your account, though? Did I make that up? There is going to be Constance. That's 63. Well, Sweden is like a less like Slavic Finland in many ways, right? Yeah, ancient pulls this weekend are gonna be really fun. I've got just about 100 ancients on my account that I'm gonna pull. I really want to get Nastia and Erlang Shen. Let's see. Nada. We're cooling off here without a doubt. There's going to be a Constance. That's 64. I believe that's our third Constance, I want to say. He said he moves a lot around between Sweden and Finland. Okay, see, I know my mods. I'm not ignorant. I know my Scandinavian countries. All right, there we go. This makes 1,200 pulls. We hit again there with Salazar, so that's 65. We've done 1,200. You would have expected 48 exclusives. We've pulled 65, so we're 17 over expected value. That's pretty freaking remarkable. Hopefully we can finish strong here with the Titans. We only have 23,000 mats. Only. A mere 23,000 materials remain. And then we have another 72 over there. All right, let's make some space. All right, right back to it. Right back to it. 560 remaining. 22,000 mats. It's good to see how many tactician artifacts we're pulling too. For when people need to get some artifacts maxed out for their Astrial or something. Hopefully they're going to add a lot more tacticians soon. There's going to be a Voroth. I believe that's 66. $67 with another Brokir. A lot of his units are going to come out max from this. I'm excited to check at the end to see who we haven't gotten yet. I know we haven't pulled Sun Wukong yet. We only pulled the one Morden. I'm sure there are a couple other ones. We haven't pulled like Valeria. That's one we haven't pulled, right? That was the 5th Brokir. There's Constance again. I think that's our 4th Constance. 68, 69 with another Reeve. All these defenders getting maxed out. All right, we're at 1,400 pulls now after this 10 pop. Definitely have slowed down, though. We're at 69. We're 3 away from expected value with 400 pulls remaining, so that's great. But I don't think we're going to get like 90 or 100 like it seemed like we were going to do at one point. There's another Rat. That brings us to 70 exclusives. And there is our 27th Cerberus of the day. That's 71. Yeah, there's a secret Cerberus right up for sure. Ay, ice cold right now. All right, there we go. Our millionth Kineza as well. That's number 72. So from the 800 pulls we had to do with Titan, we expected to get 72, and we got it, but we still have 320 pulls remaining. So we should be good, hopefully, for about another 12 exclusives. There's 73 with Ein. We've pulled him a few times. There's another Captain Reeve. There's like a secret raid up on some of these characters for sure. Reeve makes it 74. All right, there's our second Morden, finally. 75. Space time. We back. We have 280 pulls to go. Thank you, Ezekiel TV, for the first time chat, and thank you, Bard's Forge, for the Prime sub. And there's our first Wukong of the session. He did already have Wukong maxed out using Mythic Essence, so not one we actually wanted, but it's nice to see it finally dropped. And there's our third Valderon, I do believe. That brings us up to 77. And yeah, a reminder, we're halfway through the month. So if you're watching live on Twitch or if you're watching in the future before the end of the month, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime sub to give to a creator every month or a streamer. Whether you give that to me or someone else, definitely make sure you do it, because if you don't lose it, it just goes to waste because it resets at the end of every month. 77 now. We have just over 200 pulls remaining. 78 with our third Morden. Awesome. Morden and Valar are going to be close to maxed out at this rate. And there is, I think, our first Callista, maybe our second, actually. But that's going to be 79. First chat from Luda Puda in Germany. Shout out to Germany. There's the Kineza drops. We might be double digits in Kineza and Cerberus right now. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That was our 80th as well. There is our 81st with our second Volca drop of the day. Vix says that was our 6th Kineza. I don't know how Vix is keeping track of all this. There's our, I believe, 82nd with Arrogance. I think that's our second or third Arrogance. We could somehow get to 90. I don't think we can. With only 130 remaining. But there's another Kagiri. Quality's looking excellent right now. That's 83. Can we at least get to 85? Exactly 100 remaining. We've done 1,700 Titan pulls. We're at 80, what did I say? 83 exclusives? Make it 84 with our third Lord Phineas. I remember that because that's really one of the best ones we can be pulling right now. I know he wants to progress in Abyss. 70 remaining. We're really, really cooled off. At the beginning, at one point, we were at like 10%. We're still obliterating the 4% listed. Cooling off a lot now. 40 remaining after this. There's Helga for 85. 13 over expected value. There's another Morden, our fourth Morden. We're going to max this guy out. That makes 86. And our first Valeria. We finally got Valeria. That's 87. And we end with a bang. Our last 10 pull. Oh, anticlimactic. 1 second. All right, final 10 pull from the Titan. Pulled 87. Can we make it 88? We cannot, but 87, we're 15 over the 72 we would have expected to get from 1,800 pulls, so a very good session. Let's take a very quick look through and to see, is there anyone we didn't get? I don't think we ever got Falsia. That's one that jumps out to me. I don't remember ever getting Livian. We certainly got Wrath. Oh, this is... Let's see. We know we got Cerberus about 10 million times. Got Salazar. I don't know if we ever got Araka, so that's one. So Araka, Livian, and Falsia, I believe. Let me see if I can... Correct me if I'm wrong on this. We definitely got all these guys. We got one Magnus. I don't know if we ever got Selene. And that's it. So I think we only missed on 4 at most. At most. So 87 from the Titan. We're going to take the quickest intermission. You can skip ahead 30 seconds if you want. Let's just take a peek at the War of Fates, and once you know it, our boy has climbed to 7th place, and we're like a third of the way done with what we're doing today. In this video, we're halfway done. But just from the Titan, he's catapulted to 641,000 points. We're gonna get another 300,000 or so from the Wisdom, so we should be in 3rd place. And then I'm gonna be honest, Cartman and Riven, watch your back. Like, there's not much more to say, because we've got more gear forging than probably anyone in the entire game has. So pretty freaking spicy. No Lizard Tank Dude. Yes, we got 1 Trusk. We did get it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wisdom time, baby. Boop. We have exactly 1,800 of this as well. And we start off piping hot. A beautiful thing. 2 best in slot artifacts. 1 for Diao Chan and 1 for Dahlia. For a lot of content, you're going to want your Diao Chan at promo 3 or higher. But for progression, it's probably going to be your best in slot for everything, even at base promo. Amazing. We start off with 2 on our first 10 pop. We're hot. We're hot. Wow, 3 in our first 20 is ridiculous. The rates are rating. There's a Nocturne. All right, back to reality. Necro, is there anything key that you were hoping to get? I know you said your Hex was maxed out, but there's a Morgan. That's going to be number 4. Still at 4. Looks like we're right on the rates to kick off. We are ending our first 100. We do hit one more time with Cratch. So that is 5 in our first 100. We're just over 4%. Make it 6. Very relevant right now is the Allura exclusive. And 7 with Mr. Comet. What's up, R-Type? How you doing, buddy? Gonna be 8 with Calypso. Calypso's had a big glow up since her buff. I love to use Calypso, and I have her artifact maxed out. I use it a lot. Am I also gonna forge the materials? Yes, I'm also gonna forge all his gear materials. It's pretty crazy, but that will be in a separate video. But if you're watching live now, you'll see it right after this. We're at 8 wisdom pulls, 30 left, still 200 pulled. Make it 9, make it 10. 2 good ones as well, especially that Cetrum. Very relevant right now, that Cetrum artifact. I mean, it's always been great for him, getting the extra duration on his ultimate. That's kind of the only way he does damage, and that's when he gets all the shield breaking buff stuff and lens the buff stuff if you have him A1+. There's a great and our first Beelzebub. I think that's 11, I want to say. I'll wait for Vix in the chat. That is 11, and that was just hitting 200, so 11 in our first 200. Again, we would have expected 8. We're off to a good start once again. For anyone just joining now on stream, if you're watching the video, you already know, but we overshot our expected drops for exclusives on Titan by 15. We would have expected 72, and we dropped 87. We're hoping for more of the same here. Not to be too greedy, but to be a little greedy. It's space time, 1 second. All right, back at it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We've done 240, and we have pulled 11. Make it 12. Anora, amazing. You can get a maxed out Anora exclusive. It is a pretty definitive best in slot for her. Very, very strong. For a lot of content, her base promo is still her best in slot, but the maxed out Anora is really head and shoulders her best. One of the worst in the game with Laseer. Pathetic. Make it 13. Make it 14, and that's going to be, wow, these are his first 2 of this, I believe. Actually, maybe we got some from Gleaming, but a Tallulah and a Yovar. 2 artifacts I don't have on my main account. Really, really nice there. I think that's 15 now. We're coming up on the end of our first 300, which means we're 1/6 of the way through these, and we end with the biggest of bangs. 2 of these singular best exclusives in the game. Virna's got to be somewhere around the 2nd or 3rd best exclusive. Nyx is for sure a top 10 exclusive in the game. Amazing. 17 through our first 300. We're just under 6%, almost 50% over expected drop value. Still have 1,500 to go, almost 60,000 mats, which is more than I've ever pulled for anyone in a single forge. And we already did more than that in the other forge, and now we're here on this forge. It's crazy how much we're pulling today. Necrocron's coming for 2nd place right now. 2nd or 3rd place in the overall War of Fates leaderboard. Then after this on stream, and in the next video you'll see the next day, we will be doing the gear forging, where he has the most gear ever forged, for sure in a video, maybe full stop ever. There's going to be an Allura. I think that brings us up to 18, if I'm not mistaken. 2 more. Amazing Talon drop, and also Kata. That Talon drop is huge. I think we're up to 20. Cooling off for a second now, though. Make it 21 with another Boreas drop. I know we got Boreas from his Gleaming, but this is something you're going to want, and you're going to want it max promo. Amazing artifact. That's 21. All right, so through our first 400, we're at 21. You would have expected 16, so we're already 5 over. Hopefully we can keep that pace. What's up, Mark? Another Dahlia, our second Dahlia here. Brings us to 22. Leia makes it 23. I think that's our first Leia of the session. Time to sell. Right back at it. Right back at it. We are at 23. This really is like a shocking amount of pulls. Someone would have to be saving for so long to pull more than this. There's Hex, which unfortunately is a sell. His Hex is maxed out, or maybe save unless they make it relevant in the future. I've saved all my plus, the dupes of ones I've already had promo 5. That brings us to 24, and that was our first Hex drop of the day. There's a couple we still haven't had drop. Razak was one. Silas is another. We haven't gotten that. Razak just makes 25. We have cooled off a ton right now, though. A ton. We're actually coming down to that 4% rate. Yeah, wow. Really cold right now. All right, Kata makes 26. We're 1/3 of the way done with the Wisdom. 5/8 of the way done with everything, I believe. Or, is that right? My brain just turned off. Oh, there we go. 2/3 done with everything. 4/6 of the way done with everything. Sorry, literally had a little incident there. We're at 26 with 600 pulls. We would have expected 24, so we're only 2 above expectation now. Hopefully, we can heat back up. You can see how there's such bad stretches, such good stretches. The results stay fairly close to expected over these large amounts, though we were super lucky with the Titan. That makes 27 with that Nocturne. $28 with our second Beelzebub. Bubba. I didn't see if there was any there. Did anyone catch that? I clicked off too fast. Did we get that one in that last temple? I don't think we did. We definitely got one there, though. Our first Silas is 29. Our second Yovar makes 30. 2 more at the end, another Tallulah and another Hex. That's 32. So now through our first 700, we're back over expectation by 4. We pulled 6 in that last 100. We're at 32 now. One moment. Right back to it. There is Sadie, our first Sadie of the day. And then our first Zealous. We're up to 34. $35 with our second Allura. And things are looking up for us again. We got one more. This one? Well, hopefully a lot more than one, but one more soon. Nope. There we go. Our first Lady Alex, a great drop once you finally get her. Assuming you don't already have her. I need to clamp down and get Lady Alex on my account. I'm like 15,000 away and I've got 800 arena permits or something. That brings us to 36 through our first 800. You would have expected 32. We're 4 pulls over expectation. Coming up on halfway done, but we're still not done halfway done yet. And I should say halfway done with the Wisdom Forge. We'll be 3/4 of the way done total. And for anyone watching live, immediately after this, it will be a new video But immediately after this live, we will go and we will pull all of the gear forges on this account. There's going to be Talon. Beautiful drop there with Talon, our second Talon of the day. That brings us to 37. This last 100, though, has been really dry. 38 with another Zealous. And this last one, after this temple. Ooh, 39 and 40 with Shamir and Nocturne. Now, this last one brings us to halfway done with the Wisdom, 3/4 of the way done total. And there's another Talon. Our third Talon brings us to, I think we're at 41 now. So 41 through our first 900. We're 5 over expectation. 36 would be the expectation through 900. And now we're just passing halfway done with the Wisdom Forge. Truly a shocking amount of pulls. Our second Cetrum makes 42. Time to make more space. All right, let's go right back in. 870 remaining. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. This is cold. Something there. Baba Booey. Wow. Another Zealous, our second Virna, and another, I think our third or fourth Kata. 3 more takes us up to 45. $46 with our second Cratch of the day. We also just passed 1,000 Wisdom pulls. Don't cool off again. Stay hot. Stay hot. No. All right, there's Comet for 47. 48 with another Dahlia, our third Dahlia. All right, so we've done 48 through 1,100. We're 4 over expectation again. So it's looking like a really positive session, but not a gangbusters, ridiculous odds like with the Titan, where we overshot by 15. Really cooled off the past 200 or so. There is our second Anora. That's really great. Space time. Continuum. Space time. All right, back at it. Back at it. 660 remain. There's a Laura. That makes it an even 50. We're 22 away from guaranteeing the expected value. That's 51 with our second Sadie drop. $52 with our third, I want to say third or fourth, I think third Cetrum. And that is 53 on Calypso. We're 1,200 deep, so we're now 5 over expectation. Things are looking pretty good that we're going to hit at least the 72. That's going to be Ezrin. That makes it 54. Now 55 and 56 with another Leia and another Razak. I think that is going... I lost count. Is that 57 with the Sami? Yeah, 57 with the Sami. Confirmed. We're really heating up now. They come in waves. And if you pull 72,000 mats at a time in a single forge, you see a lot of waves. Another Dahlia, 58. First Twin Fiend of the day for 59. Can we get to 60? That's me, 60 and 61 with Cratch and Greed. We've pulled 1,100. It's completely not true. We pulled 1,300, so we would have expected 52, and I believe we're at 61 right now. So that's pretty good. That last 100 was crazy. 61 with 500 to go. Ooh, double here with Ezrin and Hex. Make it 63. Chat is telling us to save some stuff. He has multiple copies of every normal mythic in the game maxed out. This is a very advanced endgame account. He has 6 Bastion rings maxed out and stuff like that. You don't have to worry. This is obviously not a normal account, folks. $450 to go. 63 wisdoms pulled. We pulled 87 on the Titan. There's our first Yuri. That's a beautiful pull. This has been a tough last 100, though. Yeah, rough there. So 64, we only hit 3 there. 64 through our first 1,400. There's another Diao, though. We'll take that for sure. Make it 65. Another Setram. That's our 4th Setram. He's going to have that maxed out. 66. 67 with a gross Laseer. There's an Ezrin for, I believe, 68 now. Oh, we're doing really good now. Come on. So close. No. Stay hot. Stay hot. Oh, my God. Come on. 69 with Sadie with 300 to go. 1,500. We're 9 over expectation. You'd expect 60 at this point. We have 69. We are basically guaranteed to hit the 72 expected, and we hit it and break it there. That is crazy. 4 exclusive artifacts in a 10 pull that's not gleaming is unheard of. That is ridiculous. That brings us to 73, and there are a couple really good ones in there, especially Talon. Dahlia's nice, Ezrin's nice. Keda for specific things is good. This is very nice. We're at 73 with 290 remaining. Everything else is gravy now. We passed that 72 number. Can we get to 80? It's within the realm of possibility for sure that we can get to 80. There's going to be Sadie for 74. Time to make space. 260 remaining. We're at 74. We've got Hex. All these Hexes are probably going to get sold, unfortunately. That's 75, though. We're in really good shape to hit 80. Should get a couple more than that. That's 76. Come on, end strong for this last bit. There's another one, 77 with another Zealous. Last one before we have only 200 remaining. So we've now pulled 3,400 total. Remember, we had 1,800 of each. 200 total left remain in the Wisdom. So we have hit 77 through 14. Excuse me, through 1,600, we would have expected 64. We're 13 over expectation all of a sudden. We got so hot at the end now. We are obliterating the odds today. We are 15 over on the Titan. We're looking really good again, though we have cooled off here in the Wisdom. 5 over total expectation. Everything else is gravy. Come on. There is a Theo in. Make it 78. I think that might have been our first Theo, which is nuts. That's 79 now with that Sadie. Let's get to 80. Uh-oh. Come on. And there is our third Anora for 80. 20 more before we have our last 100. Come on. Let's see. And there's our third Diao Chan. Amazing pull. We are now at 81. 9 over expectation from the total 1,800, and we still have another 800 to go. We've broken 80. We hit 87. There's a world we could hit 87 again. We hit 87 on the Titan. Could we get there now on the Wisdom? We finish really strong and beat the rates one more time. Not a good start. Oh, for these first 20. Last time we're going to have to make space today. I'll leave this in because why not? People in chat were asking why we're mass selling. He has everything maxed out. It might not look like that here, but that's because everyone's wearing stuff. He has 6 Bastion rings maxed out and then multiple copies of every mythic max out that's relevant, and every non-relevant one he has at least 1 copy maxed out. We have 80 more to go. Let's go here. There is our third Beelzebub of the day. We're at 82 now. Make it 83 with our first Ajax. Ajax, if you're absolutely nasty. 83, baby. Can we get to 85? We have 50 left. 40 left. Can we get 2 more? There's one. Dahlia, I believe our 4th or 5th Dahlia makes 84. One more, please. 20 more to go. Just let's hit one more. All comes down to this. Can we get 85? We cannot, but we got 84. That means we got 171 total. We only expected 144. So we beat expectation by 29 exclusives. That is mind-boggling. That is so good. And I said 27 exclusives over expectation. That is so good. Absolutely amazing. We have these gleamings, but I'm going to save that for Necro for another day. If you're live right now, we're going to go straight into the gear forging, but not before we do a final check-in on the War of Fates. And let's see. Our boy is in 3rd place officially, and he is coming. I mean, look at this, right? He's coming. We're less than 100K away from Cartman. Cartman doesn't stand a chance unless he has something crazy planned. And then Riven is all the way ahead of us, all the way by 300K. But we have, right now, I believe it's 3,600 pulls to do. Or sorry, 2,800. 1,400 of each. If you're watching live, stick around. It's going to be the biggest gear forging session ever recorded. Maybe the biggest one ever, period. 56,000 total materials, 2,800 pieces of gear incoming. Let's try to get first place in this War of Fates. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Necromann. I got to end this video so I can start the next one. I've been Fastidious. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.